name is Carrie Hudson, and I'm going to talk to you today about something that's very important to me. How would it make you feel if someone could choose for you life or death, that in an instant your ability to live and breathe the breath of life was taken away? How would you feel to know that though you were created through no fault of your own, your existence and your life was thought to be of no value? This is what happens to millions of babies every year through acts of abortion. I stand before you today as a woman who understands that there are consequences for her decisions, whether good or bad, a mother who knows what it means to love and care for a child, and a nurse who has the knowledge of life and death. But this being said, I believe wholeheartedly that abortion, in every aspect of it, is immoral, unethical, and most of all, murder. And from the moment of conception, I am pro-life. Today I will discuss with you the definition and types of abortion, the legalization of abortion, and why it continues to be morally wrong, why abortion is murder from a medical standpoint, the ethical dilemma of abortion, and the excuses people use to have an abortion, and the alternatives. During this time, I will give you important facts and statistics that support my belief of this highly debatable topic, in hopes to persuade you to see abortion as murder so we can continue to try to save the lives of many. Let's first discuss what exactly is abortion. The Gale Encyclopedia of Nursing states that abortion is the intentional removal of the embryo or fetus, or in other words, the baby, before it can survive outside the womb. According to Abortion Debating the Issue by Nancy Day, there are approximately 1.5 million legal abortions in the U.S. each year. More than half the women having abortions in the U.S. are younger than 25, unmarried women making up 80% or more of these statistics. There are various methods that we will discuss that doctors use to perform these inhumane procedures. In the book, Abortion Debating the Issue, as indicated, the first method of abortion is medically. Medically induced abortions are performed by giving the women medications to induce labor, which cause preterm labor. Common medications used to induce abortion is methotrexate, cytotec, and mifepristone. These medications are used in combination to stop progesterone, fetal development, enabling labor, and therefore aborting the baby. Abortions are also performed through surgical procedures. The first procedure, manual vacuum aspiration, is performed up to 10 weeks into the pregnancy, in which the contents of the uterus is suctioned out through a small plastic tube that is inserted through the cervix. The second one is dilation and suction curettage, or otherwise called DNC, is performed between 10 and 14 weeks of pregnancy. Under anesthesia, the cervix are dilated using a series of medications. The wall of the uterus is cleaned and the contents suctioned out. Number 3, dilation and evacuation. It is used between the ages of 14 and 20 weeks of pregnancy. This procedure is similar to a DNC, but a larger tube is used to suction to perform the abortion. Now that you know what abortion is and the methods that are used, let's discuss legalization of abortion and why it continues to be morally wrong. So what led to the legalization of abortion? Roe v. Wade was the original case that led to legalization of abortion. This legislation was established in 1973 and is based upon a young unmarried pregnant woman who sued Texas to legalize abortion. According to Psychological Risk of Abortion by Clark Forsyth, there have been more than 50 million abortions induced in the United States alone since 1973. According to the book, I Am Roe, My Life, Roe v. Wade, and Freedom of Choice by Norma McCorvey, Jane Roe was later found to be Norma McCorvey. Based on her book, she was addicted to drugs and alcohol and had had previous children to which she had already given up to family members or adoption. McCorvey, who was pregnant at the time of the court case, had falsely claimed rape from a family member. She had later put up her child for adoption rather than abortion. She later, in 1995, announced she was actually pro-life. therefore making this case a legislation based on lies. At this time, McCorvey admitted she really didn't want an abortion, but she was influenced by her feminist lawyer, Sarah Weddington. Hearing of her situation, it was used to overturn Texas abortion legislation, making this case not only based upon lies, but murder. So why is abortion murder from a medical standpoint? When the sperm and the egg unite, it creates a blueprint for a unique individual human person. According to the Life in the Balance, Exploring the Abortion Controversy by Robert Winberg, at this time, all 46 chromosomes are created, and this distinctly makes you who you are for the rest of your life. From 2 weeks after fertilization, the organ systems begin to develop. From day 22, the heart begins to beat, indicating the medical fact of life and being alive. By the 7th and 8th week, the baby begins to move. The heartbeat is a medical indication of life and death, which tells me that if this heartbeat is intentionally stopped at any time, it is murder and is a criminal offense. So what other factors constitute murder? According to Webster's dictionary, murder is the premeditated or pre-planned killing of one human by another. According to North Carolina law, HB 215, there are currently 38 states, including North Carolina, that have a fetal homicide law. This law indicates that any assault inflicting serious bodily harm, whether voluntary or involuntary, of an unborn child is punishable by law. With these laws in place, and having the knowledge of what constitutes a living human being, how is it possible that abortion not be premeditated killing of a human being? So you see, abortion is murder based upon the evidence I have stated to you thus far. We have discussed many of the controversial topics with abortion, but there are numerous reasons why people use to get abortions. 3 of the most common reasons people have an abortion, according to Abortion Debating the Issue by Nancy Day. The first reason, I can't afford the cost of a child. There are many programs in each state that are able to assist with the costs associated with having a child, such as child welfare, WIC, and Medicaid. There are also many churches, Christian ministries, that will also help on a monthly basis to provide food, shelter, clothes, and even help with bills. The second most common reason, I'm having problems with my father of the baby, or I don't want to be a single parent. Family planning clinics can help educate people with troubled relationships who are expecting a baby to work together so that the child can have the best possible life. Family crisis centers are also available to help single mothers plan ahead and educate them of the responsibilities of being a new mother. Third reason, a baby will change my life too much right now. There are state social service and adoption agencies that can advise you in alternatives to abortion, such as foster care and adoption. In 2011, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services states that more than 30% of Americans consider adoption. The 2000 United States Census, which was the first census to include adoption statistics, estimated that over 128,000 children were adopted in that year, and it was predicted that adoptions would increase over the years. According to Abortion Debating the Issue, each year more than 6 million American women will become pregnant, and for more than half of them, it is by accident. Above all, we must take responsibility for our own actions by practicing safe sex or abstinence if a child is not wanted. Abstinence being the only 100% sure way not to become pregnant. In conclusion, now that you have understanding of abortion, how it was legalized, and see how faulty the pro-choice arguments are, I hope you will join me in the stand against this travesty. It has been said that if we'd honored each baby aborted since 1973 with a moment of silence, we will be silent for over 100 years. But I say we have been silent too long. It's time to let the voices of the millions of babies be heard and stop the senseless killings of our unborn children.